Reports that the U.S. has foiled a terror attack on a train going from Amsterdam to Paris. The Fox's Kitty Logan with the latest. Kitty.
That's right. Now, French officials say a man opened fire on a high-speed train using an automatic weapon. 3 people injured in that incident. 2 of them, say French officials, are very seriously wounded. Now, we don't yet know the motive for this attack, but just a short time ago, the French Interior Minister has confirmed that French terror police are involved with this ongoing investigation. Now, the suspect was arrested when the train was stopped. We understand from French officials he was subdued by 2 American passengers. French police say he's a 26-year-old man from Morocco, and it's understood that he was already known to intelligence services. Now, this incident happened on a high-speed train, as I said, travelling from Amsterdam to Paris. The train was then stopped at the next station, that's Arras in northern France. It's thought, though, that the suspect boarded the train back in Brussels. Now, a spokesman for the rail company says the situation at the station is now under control. All other passengers are safe, but we do understand that more weapons were found in the suspect's luggage, and there was also reports that he may have used a knife in this attack as well. Now, the French Interior Minister has rushed to this station where the man was detained. Another indication that authorities are taking this incident very seriously. And of course, just a few months ago, back in January, 17 people were killed in Paris when extremists attacked there. Charles?
Kitty, thank you very much. In the middle of all of this, the second in command for ISIS was actually killed by a drone. To retired General Jack Keane on what's going down. General, mixed news here, but I want to first start with the incident on the train going from Amsterdam into Paris. Maybe we got lucky, maybe we didn't, but it feels like we're hearing more and more of these stories, although it's pretty alarming that a 26-year-old Moroccan would have these kind of weapons with that sort of intent.
Yeah, certainly. A malice of forethought there, carrying an AK-47 on a train and loading it. Fortuitous, our Marines were in earshot of that unmistakable noise to anybody that's familiar with weapons like Marines would be. I'm sure clicking in the magazine and then engaging that first round with the bolt sliding forward is something they deal with all the time, and recognized that that was a threat and began to deal with it. God bless them for it.
Absolutely. I say the same thing. And I know a lot of these things happen. They happen a lot of time. Most probably don't even go report it. So it's unnerving on one hand. And to your point, maybe we got lucky. And so whenever you start to talk like that, people say, listen, luck always runs out.
Well, we know that here in the United States. There's no advanced country in the world has more active shooters than we do. And we've been dealing with one tragedy after another. It's nice to see one stopped before it really gets going and truly is catastrophic for the people involved.
You know what else is nice, General? We killed another ISIS commander or someone very high up. I think this guy was number 2. The only problem with this, I don't know about you, but I stopped trying to even learn how to pronounce these guys' names because we are knocking them off one after another, but the void gets filled immediately.
Yeah, well, they all get replaced, that's for sure. But given who he is, it is significant. Yeah, he's number 2 to Baghdadi, but he's number 1 in Iraq. And he was the leader of the operation, the invasion out of Syria into Mosul that was so successful and had such a dramatic impact on the Iraqi army. It was the first time we saw them flee, and of course we've seen that happen since that time. But this is a kingpin among terrorists and the ISIS leadership, and it's going to have some impact. The other thing that happens to these guys as a result of this, particularly when we start to put together a string of them, like we did against Al-Qaeda in the past, or we have done against Al-Qaeda in Iraq and also in Pakistan, they get more defensive operationally. They start to focus on themselves and their own protection. They're not willing to take as many risks as they've done in the past. They begin to hunker down a little bit. I don't want to go too far with it. I'm not suggesting that ISIS isn't going to conduct attacks, but it does have some impact on them in terms of their own safety and psychologically what's taking place.
Yeah, well, it's a great news for us, great news for freedom around the world. General Jack Keane, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Good talking to you, Charles.